Being the son of an NFL legend sounds like a dream. Built-in coaching, elite genetics, and a name that opens doors. But it could also be a burden. Every play gets compared, every mistake gets magnified, and every success gets questioned. Did he earn it, or was it just the name? So today, I'm going over how good they really are. First up is Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is one of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history. Two-time Super Bowl champ, 8-time Pro Bowler, 6-time first-team All-Pro, and the accolades just speak for themselves. His son Shedeur Sanders committed to Jackson State when his dad took the head coaching job. He became the highest-rated recruit in Jackson State history, a 4-star quarterback choosing an HBCU over Alabama and Oregon. At Jackson State from 2021 to 2022, Shedeur went 23-3 as a starter. He threw for 6,983 yards, 70 touchdowns, and just 14 interceptions over 2 seasons. He won 2 SWAC championships and was named the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. When his dad took the Colorado job, Shedeur followed, and in his first game against ranked TCU in 2023, he threw for 510 yards and 4 touchdowns, which was a school record. In 2024, he completed 74% of his passes for 4,134 yards and 37 touchdowns. He was also named Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year and 2nd-team All-American. Over 4 college seasons, Shedeur threw for 14,353 yards, 134 touchdowns, and 27 picks. He threw a touchdown in 49 consecutive games, which was the longest streak in FBS and FCS history. And then the draft happened. Shedeur was projected as a first-rounder, maybe even top 10, but he fell to the 5th round, pick 144 to the Cleveland Browns. The same Browns who had already drafted a quarterback 2 rounds earlier. Anonymous coaches torched him. One called his interview the worst and said he was entitled. Even though cameras are always around in the NFL, there's yet to be solid proof of these allegations, especially considering these came from anonymous sources. With that being said, the Browns entered camp with Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel ahead of him. Deshaun Watson was rehabbing an Achilles injury, and by mid-season, Flacco was traded, Gabriel got a concussion, and then Shedeur took over. Since taking over as a starter, Shedeur threw 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. The Browns were 2-4 with him starting. In Week 14 against the Titans, he threw for 364 yards and 4 total touchdowns, but the Browns lost 31-29 after a controversial coaching decision. He's a raw prospect. At times, he holds the ball too long, he takes too many sacks, but the arm talent is undeniable, and the accuracy is there. With better coaching, he could be a problem, but compared to his Hall of Fame dad, it's way too early to tell. But if you're trying to live up to Primetime's legacy, good luck. For his rating, too early to judge, but the ceiling is high. Asante Samuel Sr. is one of the most underrated cornerbacks of his era. 11 seasons with the Patriots, Eagles, and Falcons, 51 interceptions, 4 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro selections, 2 Super Bowl rings, led the league twice in picks, and was inducted into the UCF Athletics Hall of Fame. His son, Asante Samuel Jr., went to Florida State. As a true freshman in 2018, he led all Seminoles with 9 pass breakups, 2019 with 14 pass breakups, and in 2020 he started all 8 games and was named first-team All-ACC with 26 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 6 pass breakups. Samuel Jr. made an immediate impact. As a rookie, he recorded 43 total tackles, 2 interceptions, and 11 passes defended. He was named Pepsi NFL Rookie of the Week in back-to-back weeks. In 2022, he appeared in all 17 games with 57 total tackles, 2 interceptions, and 11 passes defended. And then came the playoffs. In the wild card against Jacksonville, Samuel Jr. recorded 3 interceptions in the first half alone. 3 picks in one half of playoff football. Samuel Jr. has recorded at least 11 pass breakups in 3 straight seasons from 2021 to 2023 with the Chargers. He's had exactly 2 interceptions in each of his 3 campaigns. In March 2025, he signed with Pittsburgh after 4 seasons with the Chargers. He's definitely not the ball hawk that his dad was, though. His dad made 4 Pro Bowls and had 51 interceptions. Samuel Jr. hasn't made a Pro Bowl yet and has 7 interceptions so far. Samuel Jr. is still young though, so anything could happen. But at this time, his rating would be a solid NFL starter still writing his story. And then we got Frank Gore Sr. Frank Gore is the 3rd all-time leading rusher in NFL history. 16,000 rushing yards, 91 total touchdowns, 16 seasons, 5 Pro Bowls, and he was inducted into the San Francisco 49ers Hall of Fame. He's also a candidate for the 2026 NFL Hall of Fame. Frank Gore is part of the NFL's 2000s All-Decade team and is one of the most durable running backs the league has ever seen. And his son Frank Gore Jr. went to Southern Miss and became the best player on a bad team. As a freshman in 2020, he rushed for 707 yards on 121 carries, averaging 5.9 yards per carry. In 2022, he rushed for 1,382 yards, 9 touchdowns, and was named first team All-Sun Belt Special Teams. In 2023, he rushed for 1,131 yards, 10 touchdowns, and was named second team All-Sun Belt. Over 4 seasons, Gore Jr. rushed for 4,022 yards on 759 carries with 26 touchdowns. He did all this while on a pretty bad team. Opponents keyed in on him every week, and he was the best player on the field, and defenses knew it. Despite his production, Gore Jr. went undrafted in the 2024 NFL Draft. Scouts questioned his 4.69 40-yard dash. The Buffalo Bills then signed Gore Jr. as an undrafted free agent. He has one 100-yard preseason game under his belt, but during the summer of the 2024 season, the Bills released him, but the next day they re-signed him to the practice squad. As of right now, Gore Jr. has only appeared in 2 games where he tallied 1 catch for 6 yards. By this time in his dad's career, he had already rushed for over 2,000 yards. His dad is 3rd all-time in rushing yards, and Gore Jr. has barely played in a game. So his rating, a backup player not even close to his father. Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver in NFL history. 1,549 receptions, 22,895 receiving yards, 208 total touchdowns, 3 Super Bowls, 13 Pro Bowls, 10 first-team All-Pro selections. And Jerry Rice Jr. walked on at UCLA and saw limited playing time from 2010 to 2012. After graduating with his bachelor's degree in 2013, he transferred to UNLV for his master's degree and final year of eligibility. At UNLV in 2013, Rice Jr. caught 11 passes for 86 yards and 1 touchdown. It was the most productive season of his college career, but terrible compared to what scouts look for in NFL prospects. Rice Jr. went undrafted in the 2014 NFL Draft. He participated in the Ravens rookie minicamp but wasn't offered a contract. He also participated in the 49ers local pro day before the draft, hoping his father's former team would take a chance, but they didn't. On June 26, 2014, the Washington Redskins signed Rice Jr. as an undrafted free agent. Just over a month after signing, he suffered a torn labrum in his shoulder. 2 days later, the Redskins waived him. He never played a single snap in an NFL game. So at this point, Jerry Rice Jr.'s NFL career was over before it even started. His dad is the greatest receiver of all time, and Rice Jr. lasted just 1 month in a training camp. The injury ended his dream before he could ever get a chance. And for his rating, undrafted free agent, injury ruined his career before it even started, and he was just an unproven prospect. While Jerry Rice Jr.'s path ended early, Brendan Rice took a different route. Brendan Rice played wide receiver at USC, where he steadily developed every year. In the 2023 season, he recorded 45 receptions for 791 yards and 12 touchdowns. He became one of the Trojans' most reliable red zone targets. At this point, he wasn't just living off the name. At 6'3" with strong hands and physical play at the catch point, Brendan carved out his own role. His touchdown production stood out. And in the 2024 NFL Draft, Brendan was selected in the 7th round by the LA Chargers. This gave him a real opportunity at the professional level, something his brother never had. But in late 2025, Brendan was waived by the Chargers and was then picked up by the Raiders, where he actually has a spot on the roster but has yet to record any stats. And his rating? Backup player, still looking for a chance. Then we got Randy Moss. Moss is one of the greatest wide receivers in NFL history. 982 receptions, 15,292 receiving yards, 156 touchdowns, 6 Pro Bowls, 4 first-team All-Pro selections, and a Hall of Famer inducted in 2018. His son Thaddeus Moss took a different route and was a tight end. He initially went to NC State, and as a freshman in 2016, he caught 6 passes for 49 yards and 1 touchdown. He transferred to LSU, but missed 2017 due to transfer rules and 2018 due to a foot injury. Then came 2019. Moss became a key part in one of the greatest offenses in college football history. He finished with 47 receptions for 570 yards and 4 touchdowns. Both were LSU's single-season records for tight ends. In the Natty against Clemson, Moss caught 5 passes for 36 yards and 2 touchdowns. His 2 scores allowed Joe Burrow to tie and break the NCAA single-season record for touchdown passes. LSU won this game 42-25. He then went undrafted in the 2020 NFL Draft. Despite his production at LSU, scouts questioned his athleticism and injury history. On April 25, 2020, Moss signed with Washington as an undrafted free agent. But the injuries just never stopped. On August 21, 2020, Washington waived him with an injury designation. He missed the entire 2020 season, And in April 2021, Cincinnati claimed him off waivers, reuniting him with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. In November 2021, Moss was then elevated to the active roster for the Bengals game against Pittsburgh in hopes of his NFL debut, but he suffered a hamstring injury in pregame warmups and didn't play. And on May 13th, 2024, Thaddeus Moss announced his retirement at just 26 years old. He never played a snap in a regular season NFL game. His dad played 14 seasons and is a Hall of Famer, and his rating never got started and injuries ruined everything. Barry Sanders is one of the greatest running backs in NFL history. 15,269 rushing yards, 109 total touchdowns, 10 Pro Bowls, 10 All-Pro selections, 2 Offensive Player of the Year awards, 4 rushing titles, an MVP award, and a Hall of Famer who retired just around 1,400 yards short of the all-time rushing record. The son of one of the greatest to ever do it, Barry J. Sanders, was a 4-star recruit ranked as the nation's 9th best running back. He went to Stanford and played behind Christian McCaffrey, who broke his dad's NCAA single-season all-purpose yardage record in 2015. At Stanford from 2013 to 2016, Sanders carried 143 times for 765 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was never the starter and has never gotten more than 60 carries in a season. He was stuck behind one of the best running backs in college football. Sanders then left Stanford in 2016 and transferred to Oklahoma State, his dad's school, for his final year. He had 28 carries for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sanders went undrafted in 2017. No NFL team even signed him. His football career was over. But Sanders walked away with no regrets. He played at Stanford, one of the best academic institutions in the country. He graduated with a degree. He transferred to Oklahoma State and got to wear the same jersey his dad wore. Being the son of Barry Sanders is an impossible burden. And his rating? Undrafted, never played in the NFL, and couldn't live up to the name. Kurt Warner is one of the greatest underdog stories in NFL history. Undrafted out of Northern Iowa, stocking shelves at a grocery store, playing arena football, and then exploding with the Rams in 1999. 2 NFL MVPs, Super Bowl champion and MVP, Hall of Famer. His son, E.J. Warner, had only 1 scholarship out of high school. He went to Temple, and as a freshman in 2022, he set Temple's single-game records with 527 yards and 5 touchdowns against East Carolina. He finished with 3,028 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 12 picks, and he was named AAC Rookie of the Year. In 2023, he threw for 3,076 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 12 picks, setting the Temple record for the most passing touchdowns in a season. He became the first player in school history to have 2 3,000-yard passing seasons. After Temple finished 3-9 for the 3rd straight year, Warner transferred to Rice. He threw for 2,710 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 13 picks that year. And in December 2024, he entered the transfer portal again and committed to Fresno State for his final season in 2025. At Fresno, he threw for 2,030 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 11 picks. After Temple, it seems that he regressed every year in regards to his numbers. Over his college career, Warner has thrown for over 10,000 yards, 71 touchdowns, and 48 picks. E.J. Warner is projected to be a 2026 NFL prospect, and like his dad, he wasn't heavily recruited coming out of high school. He had to earn everything, and now he's in a position to potentially hear his name called on draft day. The Warner legacy isn't about where you start, it's definitely about where you finish. So his rating, alright in college, but his NFL future is to be determined. Terrell Owens is one of the most dominant receivers in NFL history. 1,078 receptions, 15,934 receiving yards, 153 touchdowns, 6 Pro Bowls, 5 first-team All-Pro selections. He's a part of the 2000s All-Decade team. He's 3rd all-time in receiving yards, and he's a certified Hall of Famer. And his son Terrell Owens didn't start playing football until his sophomore year of high school. He played at Missouri State. In 2021, he caught 5 passes for 66 yards and 0 touchdowns. In 2022, he caught 13 passes for 171 yards and still no touchdowns. But in 2023, he caught 28 passes for 528 yards and 4 touchdowns. His best performance came against Utah Tech with 5 catches for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. At Missouri State's Pro Day, he ran a 4.5 40-yard dash with a 38.5-inch vertical, numbers that outperform his dad's combine results. His dad attended the Pro Day and watched him work out in front of all 32 NFL teams. Tariq went undrafted in 2024, and on April 28, 2024, the San Francisco 49ers signed him as an undrafted free agent, the same team that drafted his father in 1996. Early in camp, he fractured his right hand, and in August 2024, the 49ers waived him with an injury settlement. In October, they re-signed him to the practice squad, and in the 2025 preseason, he caught 2 passes for 39 yards and 1 touchdown against the Chargers. But in August 2025, the 49ers waived him again. As of right now, Tariq hasn't appeared in a regular season NFL game. He's still a free agent, but the future doesn't look bright. His rating, practice squad player, didn't live up to the name and still fighting for a roster spot. And last but not least, we got Jerome the Bus Bettis. Bettis had 13,662 rushing yards, 91 touchdowns, 6 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro selections, a Super Bowl 40 champion, and a Hall of Famer inducted in 2015. His son Jerome Bettis Jr. is a freshman wide receiver at Notre Dame. He originally wore number 36 like his dad and played running back, but in 7th grade he switched to receiver, and in 8th grade he changed his number to 4. One of the biggest things was changing my number, Bettis Jr. said. Me really getting my number away from his, that was a big step for me realizing that at the end of the day, I'm my own man. As a senior in high school, he caught 36 passes for 630 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was a 3-star recruit who committed to Notre Dame in March 2024. In the 2024 season, he recorded his first collegiate catch against Navy for 6 yards. The name Bettis was officially back on Notre Dame's roster. Freshmen usually don't get a bunch of tick, especially on a good team like Notre Dame, but his time could be coming within the years ahead. We just have to see. And his rating, college freshman, too early to judge, but the potential is there. Some of these guys could live up to the hype, but some definitely won't. Some had the talent to play, but couldn't stay healthy. Being the son of an NFL legend is both a blessing and a curse. You get the genetics, the coaching, and the connections, but you also get the comparisons, the expectations, and the weight of a name you'll never escape. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who your dad was. It matters what you do with the opportunity. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new and comment what I should cover next.